Okay, what's up guys, welcome to a Crypto Carnivore video, and it is a bloody Friday. And we'll look at all the charts. Let me just share this to Twitter, and then we will go ahead and start and just look at all the charts. Okay, I'll just tweet it, I'm not going to hashtag it or anything. Okay, so let's go up to the daily. We've punched right through the 78.6 level and the 61.8. This is where markets like to bottom. Now we've punched through the extension over here. What I'm afraid is that I should go to a longer term chart over here. I think we'll look at the trading view chart. This is just the extensions of this range over here. So the 2.618 is just at 2 cents, just below 2 cents. We came all the way down to 3.5 cents, I think. It's quite catastrophic, and I was just thinking how happy I am about my sacrifice now. It doesn't matter how bad I felt that I sacrificed late or that I didn't get as much credits as I wanted to. I'm just glad that I sacrificed as much as I did, which is good. I mean, what more is there to say? Our RSI for Mr. Pulse Lord is as low as it's ever been. And let's switch over to this chart. It's literally as low as it's ever been. We can go to the version 1 chart, and I'm pretty sure it's the lowest it's been here as well. Let's put the RSI on and we'll switch to the daily. And let's just make this a color that we can actually see. So it's been lower on the day, on the 1 hour, or on version 1. But this is not, I would say, as relevant anymore because there's no volume trading over there. So we've come above the 88.6 now. I found support there. If we can close this candle above here, make it green at 6.8 cents, that would be a dragonfly doji. I think I've got it written down here somewhere. Yeah, dragonfly doji is the bullish one, and a gravestone one is the bearish one. So if you can turn it green and fill the candle all the way to the top, or close it at the top, that would be quite bullish. And if you hear snoring, it's my dog. This bounce that we can measure, capitulation with the, I think it should be 75%. Yeah, the bounce back should be 75%. That shows a or it should be 100%, I'm not sure. Then you know you've got the bottom capitulation candle. We can quickly look at Bitcoin for a reference on that. What Bitcoin did in 2018 when we finally bottomed. Now we're still in this triangle, it hasn't played out. We'll finish the X charts first, and we'll cover all of it. Okay, let's just measure it from here. Could that have been that much? This was the capitulation over here. Let's see how large the bounce was. 28%. So yeah, 85% was the bounce. Where am I now? Oh shit. What am I doing? Here we go. This is 2019, 2018. Here we go. Okay, let's measure the bounce from down here. %. This was quite a soft landing, but either way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody is, if you've bought the top, it's pretty painful, right? But if you've been dollar cost averaging at these levels, you'll be pretty happy. And yeah, there's not much to say. What we can probably look at is an extension. Now, nobody wants, do we want some bullish? Maybe we should give some hopium. Because the deeper these things dip, right, and they continue coming back, the higher the bounce is going to be, the extension. But if this wasn't the bottom, I'd be pretty darn surprised, right? There's still much more downside in the market. That's the only thing that I'm really worried about. So yeah, just by doing a normal Fibonacci extension, just the 1.618 sits at 81 cents. And I'm pretty sure Hex is not going anywhere, right? The code is locked. I mean, even if TREZOR dies, we might see, yeah, prices like these, right? We never thought we might get these prices, but it's foolish. You get caught up in the hype. But that's why I don't really want to do analysis on Hex, because, you know, I'm pretty darn invested in this thing, emotionally and financially. But yeah, there's our two Wyckoff checks. Oh, I mean, this is actually the Wyckoff check down here. If we're just being realistic. How, what's up, Colin? How would you guys feel if we come down here? I mean, all of this technically was just post-gen hype. And the core believers are sitting down here, the large buyers. That would be pretty radical. A 95% up. That is called the Wyckoff check, right? When the market comes back to retest the breakout zone, and there is your retest of the level and your breakout again. Now this can obviously play out over here, right? We can have the bear market that Ethereum had. When Ethereum eventually topped out for the first time. It also had this massive bull run in the beginning, like X did. Like, this is where we're at, 900 days with X. How many days are these? So these are weeks. Yeah, so just about 900 days. It's exactly where X topped out. Are we in for this? Like this bear market that Ethereum experienced? Yeah, this was COVID. Eventually it bottomed it down in COVID. 800 days underwater. So just about the length that it existed. A little bit less, of course. But as when you eventually break your all-time highs down here, it's been 1,000 days, 1,100 days. How low can we go? Raymond, it's hard to say. I mean, the Wyckoff check is the last thing that I know to look for. And that is the retest of the market structure that you previously had, which I highlighted on the chart just now. But I'm impressed with the bounce because I think you need maybe a little bit more. If this gets to 100% bounce from the downside, I'd be pretty like all the way to 7.4 cents. I'd be more comfortable to call a bottom. But yeah, so this is the weekly. Yeah, so the weekly W is right over there at 1.4 cents, right? But yeah, I mean, there's no support here. We found a little bit at the bottom down here. Where was the wick that I looked at yesterday? But I don't want to sound bearish after a massive drop like this. Right? You're either dollar cost averaging or so yeah, they are my two next targets. It's impossible to call a bottom, right? You just have your levels and your dollar cost average, and this is technically the buy zone all the way. And Hex is not going anywhere, it's not going to die. We've never been this low on the RSI, and yeah, I don't see, yeah, I've been wrong before, right? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll cover the Hex versus BTC quickly. Large bounce of the 88.6 here. Just take off the log scale as we're looking at the lower time frames. We're just interested in this dip down here. So yeah, we've finally broken structure, but what is interesting is that we've just technically come down to retest the downtrend, right? This is very basic technical analysis. We've come down into the reload zone. This is where you want to be swapping your, where the little lady wants to be swapping her Hex for, or her BTC for Hex, right? She had her orders there, she'll have another order here. I mean, let's cut out that wick quickly. You'll maybe have to do it on the weekly. I'm just trying to look where the Wyckoff check was. Was these higher lows down here? I mean, that is the Wyckoff check for you down there. It's a lot more room to go, but this is probably the halvening or the fork that's being priced in right here now. I don't see, yeah, this is either the bottom or we've got a little bit more room to go. How much further is it from here? Just a 70% drop. But that's where your market structure is at. Now I'm just looking at this like unbiased as I possibly can, and it's not fun at all because so you have a W over here inside of another one. So I'd be happy to say that that is the Wyckoff check down there. This is just your targets. The 88.6 has already been hit. And I do this with all the other coins. And we can cover some of the others to get a bit of perspective at where we're at. It's tough to sell to get people to. It's tough sell to get people to buy. Yeah, I know, dude. Like my onboards are messaging me as well. Yeah, and I tell them actually now is the time to buy. They're like, I'm not gonna buy something that's never produced me anything. Right? I'm like, technically it has. It's made you more hex if you're staked. But I just tell them that Ethereum has done the same. Right? Everybody loves Ethereum now, but would they have bought it when it was down 95% for the first time? Like, how many times? This was the 95% dip, and we just talked about this, right? What if Hex is going to have this kind of an experience, like 94%? Were they going to be buying Ethereum down here? No, they were not, right? It just shows the market is so wrong. But that's a premium asset right now, right? In the crypto sphere at least, and it's kind of been institutionalized already. JP Morgan and all of them have coins, and it's probably going to be the central bank digital currency as well in the future. And it dropped 94%. I mean, we can look at Amazon. .com bubble, right? 95%. I mean, guys, this is literally where you are like a superhero, right? Everybody is laughing at you now. But just look at what it did. So, like, everyone in America uses this right now. 72,000%. Let's just quickly go back to the Hex price. So we've covered the very bearish price targets on all of the pairs, and this can take long, right? I mean, we all I especially got caught up in it. But my opinion hasn't changed. Like, I'm still earning a lot of Hex that I think would be worth a lot. And it's safe. It has shown itself its uptime. Let's just quickly check the downside before I get distracted. I want to keep that on. I'll just take off the Fibonacci too. No. 92.79. We can look at it at should probably use this Hex chart. This Hex chart has a little bit more history, yet it has less liquidity. But it almost overtook the what? Dudes, there's less than 1 million liquidity right now on the most popular pair. Are we having the snapshot? Because this is what the liquidity providers would do. They would remove the liquidity. And the OA is a large liquidity provider at 5 cents. This is what I was referring to as the magic carpet ride, is in fact the buy support that was at this level. And it started at 5.4 right here at this level. Let's mark it for you guys. My word, like, this is not a lot of liquidity. And why is it getting removed right now is the question. And why is Richard Hart so quiet? We'll look at that. Let's pull up the Uniswap. I don't know, probably some of the other live streamers has been talking about it. This is insane. This is as much liquidity. I think it's almost as much liquidity as Hedron. Now this would have an effect of moving the price quite a lot. Now this is the other pair. Sorry. In fact, this is where the OA liquidity is at. This is the lesser fee, the 0.3% fee to the liquidity providers. It just shows how benevolent the OA is. It doesn't even want to take the 1% fee. It rather takes 70% less fees. So there's a little bit more liquidity over here, but let's see if Hexstats has an updated. And we need to look at the Hex liquidity removes. This is now the largest pair. I don't know what is going on here then. Am I seeing something wrong? Because this says 800,000 liquidity. And this used to be the largest pair. Let's see, 32 minutes ago. So 2 million has been removed over here. Let's quickly look at the ads 5 minutes ago. Add Hex to ETH. 20k, 20k. Added Hex. Just Hex on the sell side. Very interesting, but I'm not quite sure. I'm a little bit lost. So most of the liquidity sits in this order book now. Yeah. Total value locked. With 11.3. So has it probably not shown up here? This is the other pair. What's going on here? Oh, this is the PLSD pair. 5.1 million liquidity. For some reason they're moving it over to this one. But no USD. There's probably gonna not be a lot of liquidity here. Yeah, so this wall over here is the OA. And lots of yeah, there's no security, nothing. But there are other liquidity pools. There's the ETH one. Though this total value locked says 8 million. This says 11 million. Let's see what Hexstats says, what liquidity is. $9.7 million USD and 130 million X. large increase in T-share, right? Let's see how many end stakes there were. 6.4. The rate is getting large now. Yeah, so we've covered all of that. It seems this is now the thickest liquidity pair, and we're also very low on the RSI over here. Could it go lower? I mean, these things can get incredibly oversold and overbought. But this is where Pulse Lord, the RSI King, starts going along. This is his buy zone. Then let's look at Pulse Doge and the Hex ecosystem coins and see how they've held up. So this is technically the reload zone if you're interested in Pulse Doge. But once again, markets tend to want to bottom down here. I don't know how it's going to fare. Everything else is down for quite long. Apparently they're benevolent whales. This is a new low, so you're still technically in a downtrend. Let's extend this line to the right. It's just retesting it just like X. RSI, new low on the RSI, so we're probably gonna come down a little bit more. Why? Maybe we just do this grind line all the way to the reload zone and we take off. That's Pulse Doge. We can quickly look at its pairing against Hex if you want to ratio trade this. What am I doing? That liquidity is almost empty. 4.8 million. Most of the liquidity happened. I don't know why they're moving it to the older liquidity pair. That's interesting. Yeah. Maxi. We'll look at the Maxi as well. XPL is the pair. Now this shows you the ratio between the two. And we'll just click this button over here. It's a good time to sell your Pulse PLSD for Hex. But these are new highs, which is quite bullish for PLSD. It's held up very well against Hex. Made new highs or new lows against the Hex pair. This is bullish for PLSD, and when it goes down or up, it's good for Hex. So either Hex is outperforming PLSD or PLSD is going down, and when this is going down, either PLSD is outperforming Hex or Hex is going down versus it. And this is a combination of both. So you see quite an aggressive downtrend on here. Yeah, and the professionals can wait for it to break the downtrend to go to the other side. So this is still in price discovery mode. It's trying to find out where fair value is versus these two ratios, right? It just wants to grab that thing. I want to grab my extension down to there. And now these are new resistance levels. Yeah. Okay, so that's PLSD. It's performing quite well versus X. Let's look at Hedron. I don't mind X dumping 90, but there were a lot of fury saying that X was different than the rest of the markets, which clearly isn't. Yeah, I'm probably part of that. but you can understand why we're so, we're too invested in it, overly invested in it. So there's no way you can have a sober opinion on it. And that's why I don't like doing analysis on Hex, because I'm always wrong about it. So yeah, he drawn a new lows, which is not good to see. Yeah, it's not interesting when these things make new lows. Oh, I shouldn't say it's not interesting. That's not the right word to say. It's not. Well, technically it's not good. I know, and none of us expected it to do so badly, because all of us thought that Pulse Chain would be here right now, right? We thought Pulse Chain would be here before. We had expectations, funny, that it would be here before the Pulse X sacrifice even. So yeah, it's been quite a ride. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going through it again. But I knew what I was doing when I made a large stacking ladder, so there's actually no way to feel like this. And in fact, we should be very happy if you're staked for a very long position, because there's just it just increases the upside, because volatility, like Richard Hart says, is a feature and not a bug. So the larger the dip, the larger the extension. I mean, the expansion phase. Just look at Ethereum. It did 95. We're not 95 yet, right? Where is 95%? Yeah, like at the 2 cent area, the 2.5 cent area. $2.58 on this chart. So, but there's no market structure there. It's literally either going to do the Wyckoff check. That's a lot. Okay. Enough of that. Hedron, people aren't impressed with the liquidated T-share. I mean, it could have been staged by them. So yeah, Hedron, not at all interesting. Getting punished. And we'll just quickly look at the maxi premium. What's up, Pulse Lord? We just said that we are in your buy zone. I don't know how you feel about the price, but maybe you can tell us how you feel about the RSI. Let's look at the maxi premium quickly. So has it come down yet? Are you serious? Look at this wick on this thing. It'd be interesting to see if this acts like a normal market. Because I mean, technically you've got, this is all the way coming down. Because you've got the W over here. Either that, or it's all the way coming down to the 78.6 level. It'd be interesting to see if this ratio trades like the normal market. Yeah, so I mean, if you're very interested to get this thing, down here is where you'd be interested. And do not be surprised if it comes down to test the two last levels down here. I mean, it might just come right back to the ratio, to the even ratio. And I'd probably be interested down there myself, because apparently it seems like they're going to be building on top of it in some way or another. RSI is as low as it's ever been, but it could go a lot lower as it's only at 25. Yeah, that's what I said. Like Richard Hart mentioned it when we were at the top. He said you'll be surprised how oversold or overbought the RSI can get. So yeah, I've definitely got more downside targets on my chart. I mean, technically this is the Wyckoff check and we have to come down here. We don't have to, but the market likes to come down to test these breakout levels. You can see how beautifully it retested it before breaking out. But that's very far away down. Let's quickly look at some alts versus BTC. Yeah, and if you some of you have been watching me for a while know how I've been looking at this chart for a very long time. Only now people are starting to mention the Bitcoin dominance again. And Ethereum versus BTC, it's starting to break down now. But just a quick mention, this is the W, it's even on the weekly, and your target is all the way at 49. So at least 50% Bitcoin dominance. But a lot of it is stuck in ETH versus BTC. And this pair hasn't really taken a knock as of yet. This one, and it's starting to break down now. This and Luna had me worried, and I thought there's something weird going on. But now, after Luna's collapse and Ethereum, but look at the RSI on this pair. I mean, yeah, I was just reading that looks like the strongest level. Yeah, and we can do that same analysis, just the Wyckoff check on here. This is way too deep. We didn't even get to all-time highs, which I thought we would at least do. And it just shows that Bitcoin still, yeah, I'd like to think about that for a while. Hopefully it eventually gets there. But let's just quickly see where we can see this ratio, Bitcoin versus Ethereum, coming back to. W over here. So this is your Wyckoff check down here, and it'll probably show up on the weekly as well. You can see a few retests. Yeah, so this is finally starting to break down. It lost its structure, but the BTC dominance itself is breaking out. So, and this can get really I'd be starting to get interested up here, very interested up here to get altcoins. And this is where the little old lady is probably going to be starting to get interested in the other altcoins as well. But to come back to the decorrelation of HEX, it performed quite well in the beginning during COVID, like when everything else crashed. But this was our macro cycle for HEX, right? It launched in the bear market, outperformed and continued to perform in the bull market, and now it's hit its macro top. It's gonna have maybe a 1,000-day bear market, just like Ethereum did, and just continue to its upside again. Yeah, so we can just look at all the other, maybe we should look at them versus USD value first. So Hex being the top loser that I have on my chart. So this is Phantom, a very popular one in the bear market. You have your Wyckoff check already marked off down here. You see the massive W, and finally we have a breakout. We haven't even retested it, which is, there's lots of space down here. And what are these top coins doing compared to X? A 93% on Phantom, and it did it quick, right? How many days was that? 196. So yeah, how many days have we been down on X? $250 days, so it's been a bit longer. So let's just measure what the bear markets have been. Phantom, very popular. It's been 211 days. Near protocol, this is like the VCs built to this thing. What am I doing? Let's see what it has done. These are top 20 coins, right? Let's just see. It's only done 83%. It's going to eat that wick. Where is its Wyckoff check? It has no structure down here. And I mean, there's structure down here, so I think maybe it gets folded down here at $1. How much down is that? Also 94%. But these are amazing buying opportunities for these things. It's maybe a bit overzealous, maybe right there. Yeah. AVAX. So yeah, the market overall is suffering. Let's see, AVAX breaking new lows. This is a layer 2 scaling solution. This was what Eric Wall thought was interesting, 85%. Yeah, I mean, it's just broken new lows, so it's going lower. Whereas this looks a lot like near protocol. There's no market structure down. There is a little W down here. So that's just checking if this low actually held. No, it didn't. So this isn't good market structure at all. So we'll keep that there, but I mean, it's coming down all the way down here. $4. Is Maxi a buy? This is where I'm interested, down here, just from my technical analysis that I always use. But I don't know if this acts the same as a ratio trading. Right? Why do you think TRX is holding up so well? I was looking at it the other day as well, and remember we talked about it. It had good market structure, and it looked bullish. It hasn't had its run. Like TRX and XMR tend to run late, and they tend to dump late as well in the bear market. That I noticed last time as well. Yeah, I mean, we can go on the weekly and just show you how long these people have been waiting for this, right? So we finally bottomed down here. No, down here. This was COVID. Oh, so they had a little bit of a bear bull run. And, I mean, it did a 25x. But it came down beautifully into the reload zone. Like, it looks like it wants to have another run, but it's... we look at it versus BTC just now, but it has to, I mean, it has to break out here, and it's got a lot of room to go before. So you might just have TRX move sideways for quite long. It's probably having a bull market versus BTC. Yeah, so this was painful, right? 71. Could you have sold on a double? Yeah, you could once, maybe twice. Yeah, so you could have sold twice on a double down here. This is technically in the long run, and this is even the weekly. Would you have liked to hold to this? I mean, it hardly outperformed Bitcoin. We have a beautiful little W down here, but look how much punishment it took. 96% down versus Bitcoin. It looks well. It's rounded nicely down here. A large W. Have we broken out yet? No. So as soon as we break out down here, if we break 300 sats, we've got the measured move. Up there. We can also do a little extension to see if there's, yeah, right at the 2.618. So you've got a few levels over here. Yeah, so do we come all the way up there? This is probably the 50%, and it's last hurrah before the, okay, not even. Yeah, so TRX looks good. Let's quickly look at XMR. Yeah, and all of them. It's not fun holding these so long. So yeah, it's keeping its value versus Bitcoin, I would say, because both of them are incredibly cheap still. Technically still below the 61.8, and they're just holding their value. And this is what we'll see eventually on the altcoins. You will see them bottoming out on the USD value, and maybe lose some BTC value. Look how beautiful this Wyckoff checked up here. You see the W, and it comes all the way down to retest it. And you never think it when you're down here. BTC direction always first. No point looking at alts if BTC is going down. Yes, you're absolutely right, dude. Their liquidity is paired together. Most of them trades against Bitcoin on exchanges, so they will decrease in value as Bitcoin USD value decreases. And with that sentiment as well. So there's more liquidity being added now. Selling begets selling, right? So if you have a lot of emotional people selling down the price, the effect cascades. So that's 93% down already on Hex. For a short time frame, I would now consider this to be the most valid liquidity pair. Let's look at the RSI on here, as most of the trading now happens here. On this pair, it's also as low as it's ever been, but as Boss would say, it can go a lot lower. So many of these old altcoins never even had a run. Let's see what VChain, how much VChain is down. It did a 91%, so it's actually performing better than X. But all of these altcoins are very, very, very cheap. And this coin actually had some of the best market structure on the Bitcoin pair. Jeez. W down there. GRT, and you know, I'm not sure what this does. It's also down 96%. Bitcoin Cash down 91%. Dogecoin But if you look at it like this, I would not blame you to say, cheers, Pulse Lord, thanks for dropping in, dude. I would not blame you for thinking that it goes with the rest of the market, right? It's done exactly the same. We're probably going to have our Bitcoin breakdown this weekend. Because as soon as a candle closes here, a weekly candle closes below 29k, it's going to be a cascade. And it seems like the market is just front running it. Year in finance, ouch. This guy left DeFi, right? This was the first major project that he created, Andre Cornier. ETH still hasn't done its stuff, right? But it has to come. It has to come down here. Look at that. That's a Wyckoff check at minus 92%. You have your reload zone where the market is interested technically in here. You have an AB equals CD measured move down here into the sub 1k levels. And I mean, we've never seen a bubble that we've seen in crypto like the last one. Like all of these NFTs selling for millions. It's been absolutely ridiculous. And all of that money just has to come out of DeFi. So, DeFi, Litecoin down 87%. These are the more established coins. TRX. How low did you go? 75. Qtum. This has to go all the way down to 2 cents. Or to $2. 91%. Ravencoin. The question is there more downside to go on these coins? I mean, how much lower can we go? We're right back, all the way back to where we were in November. Breakout points of November. Are we really going to go back all the way down to those levels? Because I mean, then this market is perfect for the little rally. You're literally just selling off in a double and just exiting this market completely at the top. Dot needs to come down all the way down to where it is marked at. It bounced off the 88.6 level. Now, I mean, all these coins were all the red, right? How much down is this? 87%. And this is a layer 1. Polkadot, right? The creator of Solidity. Gavin Wood. Here we go, 90% on OMG. FTT has held up very well, and this one as well was weird. Now starting to take a little bit of punishment. I mean, these guys are spending so much money. This has to come down a lot. I mean, this run-up looks quite a lot like X. And, I mean, even BNB, we'll look at BNB now. There's just no market structure, it's so manipulated. Let's quickly look at BNB and we'll finish this video. This is versus still hasn't broken down. Very weird. Let's look at USD. This massive double top, it looks exactly like Bitcoin, but actually technically made a double top. Goes down 70%. This has to come down here, at least. And then very manipulated market, but either way, we'll give them that. That is a weekly W. Boom. Okay. Hang in there, guys. It's punishment. I know it's tough out there. Let's just work hard, and the bull market is going to come again, no doubt about it. And just like we bought the altcoins back in 2020 and 2019, it's going to happen again, and I'm excited for that to happen, and we can look forward to that. And yeah, so what more can we do? We can just hodl. I'm staked anyway, so there's nothing I can do. I have a stake coming out in 20 days, 25, 6 days or something like that. And maybe if we can we can look forward to Pulse Chain as well, which is pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure it's going to launch at the perfect time. So, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Please do not get wrecked. Play from a position of strength. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers for now and bye bye.